Writers, one thing we have learned about poets is that when they're describing, they use their poet's eyes to look at what they're describing in a fresh way. Another thing that poets do is they use the words they choose to make music. That's right. Poets use words to make music. They're not playing instruments or singing, but the words they choose and the way they arrange them can be musical. What I want to teach you today is that one way to give your poems music is to pay attention to where you put words and to where your lines break. What I mean is pay attention to where you put words and where you don't put words. Poets use a few different ways of breaking up their lines, reading their poem back to themselves after a try, and then maybe rearranging the words again until their poem sounds just right. Right now, we're going to take a look at a poem called The Aquarium by Valerie Worth, and I'm going to show you this poem two ways. I'm first going to show you this poem written in paragraph form, and then I'm going to show you how Valerie actually broke up her poem so that it does sound musical. This layout tells us to read this just like we're talking to each other. It reads, goldfish flash gold and silver scales. They flick and slip away under green weed, but round brown snails stick to the glass and stay. It's just like we're telling someone something. Now, on the other hand, look at this version. This is how we're accustomed to sing this poem, right? This is how poetry is written. And I'm going to read it with the line breaks, and please notice how it sounds different. Goldfish, flash, gold and silver scales. They flick and slip away under green weed. But round brown snails stick to the glass and stay. The line breaks make you read it so your voice moves a little bit like a fish swims. You can see that longer line, short line, longer line, longer line, longer line, longer line, short, short, short. It's like a fish is moving in this poem. Also, notice that the author, Valerie, put flick and slip away together on one line. That lets you think that, wow, 1 minute the goldfish is there and the next minute it's gone. And then her poem sounds a little bit different here. She slows it down when she's talking about snails. She says they stick to the glass and stay. Your voice just naturally slows down, and we know snails are slow. So with these line breaks, Valerie Worth has helped her readers find the music in her poem. She uses line breaks to help us read her words like quick fish and like slow snails. So this is another way to think about organizing your poem when you write. We look with poet's eyes, but we can also arrange our words in such a way that our poem sounds musical. Any day when you write poems, remember, you're trying to turn words into music. And line breaks, where you put the words and where you don't put the words, can help you with that. As you go write your poems today, either using some of the observations you've made or perhaps thinking about a memory, play around a little bit with the idea of line breaks. Arrange your poem one way, and then maybe type it again quickly and arrange the words another way. By thinking about where you're ending your lines, you can make your poem musical, and you can absolutely convey some meaning like Valerie Worth did in her poem. Let's get writing.